Okey, hai. Assalamualaikum. Apa khabar semua ibu bapa dan pelajar semua? Selamat datang ke program Jom Cakna SPM, Easy Learning Web, merupakan program anjuran Pejabat Timbalan Menteri Pendidikan 1 dengan kerjasama e-Didik Malaysia yang berlangsung sejak awal Januari hingga Februari, dan program ini bersiaran setiap Jumaat, Sabtu dan Ahad. Jadi sebelum kita mulakan kelas, cikgu minta bagi semua pelajar dan penonton yang beragama Islam, boleh kita membaca kitab, dan bagi pelajar yang bukan Islam, boleh bertafakur mengikut kepercayaan masing-masing. Al-Fatihah. Amin ya rabbal alamin. Okey, apa khabar adik-adik semua? Cikgu harap semuanya dalam keadaan yang sihat. Okey, semuanya bebas daripada COVID. Okey, dan sentiasa berjaga-jaga dan mematuhi SOP. Dan dah bersedia nak teruskan kelas kita pada hari ini. Okey, program Jom Cakna Easy Learning Web ini dah sampai ke siri yang ke-21 yang kita akan bincangkan kertas Matematik SPM. Jadi sebelum kita teruskan kelas kita, cikgu perkenalkan diri dahulu. Cikgu merupakan Cikgu Farah selaku moderator pada petang ini. Selain itu kita ada Cikgu BST selaku control host dan juga Cikgu Kimi selaku pegawai teknikal. Dan kita bersama dengan cikgu yang hebat ni, merupakan presenter kita pada petang ini, Cikgu Loh Chee. Okey, apa khabar Cikgu Loh?
Hai, selamat petang. Khabar baik?
Okey, Cikgu Loh ni merupakan cikgu matematik SMJK Konvent Datuk Keramat Pulau Pinang. Jadi adik-adik daripada Penang tu, siapa daripada Penang boleh typekan komen, type saya dari Penang, bagi tahu sekolah mana Okey, cikgu nak kenalkan dulu pada Cikgu Loh ni merupakan guru ikon STEM PPD Timur Laut Pulau Pinang, merupakan alumni Teach for Malaysia, Learning Advisor Project ID, dan merupakan anak Pulau Pinang sejati yang bercita-cita menjadi guru sejak 5 tahun. Dan sekarang ni cita-cita itu dah tercapai dan telah mempunyai pengalaman mengajar sejak tahun 2014. Jadi adik-adik nak menimba ilmu daripada bukan kaling-kaling daripada cikgu yang sangat luar biasa, cikgu muda yang bersemangat wajar. Jadi sila fokus untuk kelas petang ini. Jadi sebelum itu, cikgu nak ingatkan adik-adik semua, para penonton yang ingin menghantar komen, sila gunakan bahasa yang sopan dan gambar profil yang bersesuaian untuk tontonan umum. Sila fokus pada isi pelajaran yang akan disampaikan oleh oleh Cikgu Loh, supaya adik-adik semua beroleh manfaat daripada perkongsian pada petang ini. Jadi tanpa membuang masa, saya serahkan kelas kita kepada Cikgu Loh. Silakan Cikgu Loh.
Okey, terima kasih Cikgu Farah dan selamat petang kepada semua pelajar yang menghadiri Easy Learning Web pada hari ini, sama ada di YouTube atau sama ada daripada Facebook. So, a very good evening to all the students who are watching Easy Learning Web right now, is either in YouTube or Facebook. So, welcome to our sessions today. So, I think math is like being taught in two languages, so which is Bahasa Melayu and also English. So since I'm teaching, the school that I'm teaching math is in English, so I will be using English for now. But later I will run a survey to check how many of you are learning in English and how many of you are learning in BM. So if more of you, like majority of you are learning in BM, I will be using Bahasa Melayu throughout the sharing. If more of you are using English, I will be using English. So as a Malaysian, we just go bilingual today, okay? So later you need to let me know which language are you using to learn math, all right? So hello to everyone again. My name is Lo Chee. You may just call me Sir Lo. And the presentation today, I just want to mention, is a special dedication to all of the math teachers who inspired me in my life. So you can see all the logos here are all my school and institutions. I learned a lot from my math teachers, and I am able to share here today because of them. Thanks to them, or else I won't be here. So hopefully my sharing will be helpful for you today. And when you are successful one day, let's share to more. Let's help more and more younger generations, and we just pass the spirit around. All right. So let's start the sharing today. Okay, so today I will be sharing with all of you SPM Modern Math Paper 2 4S Revision Pack. So I prepared this 4S Revision Pack. So today I only share paper 2. The reason is mathematics 140 marks, 40 marks paper 1, which is easier, and is, you know, like all the chapters will be included. And something that we can really focus and we can really score is actually paper 2. That gave us 100 marks. So I'll focus on paper 2. And I call it 4S revision pack. Why 4S? 4S stand for these 4 terms: strategy, sample, solution, skill. Inside, so this is actually a Google slide. Later you will have this Google slide. You can just bring it for you can just take it, and then you can use it for your coming soon SPM revision. SPM, you have another 2 more weeks. I mean, 2 or 3 weeks for the math lah. So in this last few more weeks, what we can do, of course, is a revision. So this Google slide will be very helpful for you to do a very quick and short revisions. So I try to go through all the topics with these 4 things: strategy, sample, solution, and skill. Strategy means the idea, the technique that you can score or you can attempt that topics. Sample is the sample question that might be asked in or might be tested in SPM. Solution, of course, this is the answer for the question. And then skill is a website that you can train your skill that is related to that topics. Okay, so I hope that this might be helpful in your final few weeks revision. So let's start. And then just a little attention. Okay, perhatian. So attention, one thing I want to share with everyone, maybe I can just highlight the important keyword here. So all the suggestions and analysis in this slide is fully conducted based on 10 randomly selected trial or model papers. So later I will give some suggestions like what kind of topics might be asked or might be tested in SPM, because you should know this is the first time KSSM being tested in SPM. Previous SPM were all KBSM. So this is the first time, first ever, and no one know how it actually looks like. So I was preparing this. It's like I try to predict, I try to think, I try to analyze what is going to be tested in the coming soon SPM. So all the analysis is based on 10 randomly selected papers. So very important, it do not reflect the real likelihood of the real SPM paper, but it really serves as a reference for all of you. And because I prepared this in 2 weeks time, so perhaps that might be some little there might be some little error that I might not notice. In case you found that, feel free to email to the owner, which is me. You can email to this email lah. Later you can have this slide. You will have this email to tell me any correction, any suggestion. And this slide is for it's 100% non-profit. So just use it and then use it to learn. Most importantly, enjoy learning, and good luck for your coming soon SPM. All right. And then what are the papers that I was referring to? So these are the papers. So here I would like to also express my gratitudes to all the teachers behind the papers who designed and created the papers. They all actually created very awesome and very good paper that actually let the student to try and train your skill. So some of you from Perak, some of you from Johor, some of you from Negeri Sembilan, maybe some of the papers are the paper that you already tried. So some of the questions later you see might be familiar to you. So really thanks to all the teachers who contribute to all this paper and share out for everyone to actually study it and practice together. Okay, this is a very, very good sharing culture in Malaysia. All right. And then, so I would like to start with this. So my analysis, or according to my study, I found that these are the topics, 10 papers. I randomly select 10 papers. So all the 10 papers actually tested this question. So I categorize all of these chapters as 5 stars topic. 5 stars topic means I am very confident. I am very confident that 100% will be tested in SPM. But of course, This is about confidence. Although I'm 100% confident, but if let's say some of the topics didn't come out in the real SPM, okay, don't blame me. But I'm very confident to be very honest. Okay, so it's like 5 stars topics. So they are logical reasoning, graph of motions, probability. This is and also financial management. These are Form 4 chapters. And then Form 5 chapters got 2 chapters. It's like 5 star, like 10 papers. 10 papers will be asked. Matrices, measures of dispersion. Measures of dispersion is very unique because it is not Form 5 only. It is also Form 4 chapters. So it's a mix of Form 4 and Form 5. Form 4 is a measure of dispersion of ungrouped data. And then Form 5 is the measure of dispersion for group data. All right, and then for Form 1 to Form 3, the lower form, straight lines, circle, simultaneous equations, pans and elevations. Jadi adik-adik, Cikgu Lo cuba bahagikan topik-topik mengikut kegerapan mereka dalam kertas 2. Jadi inilah topik-topik yang mempunyai kegerapan tertinggi. Antara 10 kertas memang tanya soalan-soalan macam ini. Dan saya memang letaklah tajuk dalam bahasa Melayu dan English. Jadi kalau ada adik-adik yang belajar dalam bahasa Melayu, jadi boleh fahamlah topik apa tersebut. Jadi saya perlukan semua pelajar cuba fikir ada tak topik antara topik yang di sini nak Cikgu Lo bincang lebih mendalami. Sebab hari ini 2 jam tak mungkin kita sentuh semua topik. Memang tak mungkin. Jadi nanti pelajar-pelajar boleh cadangkan topik-topik yang selalu sentuh lebih lama sikit. Ada topik-topik yang saya mungkin touch and go sahajalah. Jadi fikir apakah topik yang rasa penting dan anda nak tanya lebih banyak. So please think, okay, which chapter that you want selalu to go deeper later. I will let you vote. Okay, so think about that. All right. Okay. 4 stars question. 4 star question actually is like 10 papers, 8 to 9 question, 8 to 9 papers will test this kind of topics. So Form 4 chapter 1, quadratic equations. Form 4 chapter 4, operations on set. Form 4 chapter 5, network in graph theory. And then chapter 6, linear inequalities. And then Form 5 chapter 3, insurance and combined transformations. For Form 1 to Form 3, solid geometry is actually 4 star question as well. So means what? 4 star question, 10 papers, 8 to 9 papers they ask about this means when in the real SPM paper, I strongly believe that out of 7 topics here, there might be 5 over 7 questions might be asked. Like 7 topics, 5 of them might be tested. This is my hypothesis. All right. After that, 3 stars question. Okay, 3 stars question. It's like 10 papers, 6 to 7 papers, they will ask this question. So it's like taxations and then trigonometric functions. So those are from 5 topics. And then from 1 to from 3 is like graph of functions. All right. So this might be asked. And then now 2 star question. 2 star question means 2 stars. Okay, 10 papers, only 1 to 4 papers mention them. So I can say that these are very rare questions in paper 2. Most probably they will not be asked in paper 2. But this gives us a very big hint. If this question will not be asked in paper 2, which means they will surely be asked in paper 1. So which means number basis, kebanyakan, most of the time in paper 1. Variations in paper 1. Mathematic modeling, mostly maybe in paper 1. And also one interesting thing, after I randomly selected 10 papers, actually none of those papers mention mathematic modeling. I mean, not mentioned, tested mathematic modeling. So I have strong, I strongly believe they will, math modeling will be more inclined towards paper 1 question, all right? And then another 2 topics rarely being asked. Sometimes they will ask, okay, it's like saving and investment, the one that tested us I equal to PRT, MV equal to P multiplied by 1 plus R over N power NT, something like that. And then also locus in 2 dimension. All right. And then this is the question distribution in SPM paper 2. All right. So we all know that we have 3 sections, section A, B, and C. This is slow suggestions. I mean, not slow suggestions. After I discussed with a few math teachers, we found that the better idea is after you got the paper, during exam, after you got the paper, start from section C first. Jadi ini cadangan daripada Cikgu Loh, I mean atas perbincangan Cikgu Loh dengan cikgu-cikgu lain. Selepas dapat kertas soalan, kami cadang bahawa anda boleh mula dengan section C dulu. Mengapa? Kerana section C mengandungi dua soalan. Dua soalan itu 16 dan 17. Kamu hanya perlu buat satu sahaja. Dan untuk mempercepatkan, selalunya section C dia senang. Walaupun dia dua pilih satu, tapi selalunya dia senang. Dan apabila dapat kertas, langkah pertama, lebih baik terus pergi ke soalan 16 dan 17. Terus tengok sepintas lalu. Tengok soalan manakah yang anda lebih yakin. Kalau lebih yakin dengan 16, okey, terus buat 16. Abaikan 17. Kalau lebih yakin dengan 17, okey, abaikan 16 dan buat 17. Dengan menggunakan masa cadangan 15 minit sahaja untuk dapatkan 15 markah. Kemudian terus masuk kepada section A untuk buat soalan yang pendek mengguna masa 45 minit. Dan memang kena perhatikan jam atau perhatikan jam tangan. Memang cukup 45 minit dalam section A saja. Kalau dalam 45 minit tak dapat siap, berhenti sekejap, terus masuk ke dalam section B. Sebab kadang-kala soalan dalam section B sebenarnya lebih senang daripada soalan dalam section A. Jadi kalau kita terjumpa dengan soalan susah di section A dan terlalu lama singgah di section A, kita akan rugilah. Jadi ini cadangan daripada Slow, macam mana kita guna atau uruskan masa kita dengan wajar. Dan perasan ke tidak, jumlah masa di sini 2 jam sahaja. Tetapi sebenarnya SPM kertas 2 ini ada berapa lama? 2 jam setengah kan? Jadi di manakah 30 minit itu? Sebenarnya kalau boleh, siapkan kertas anda dalam 2 jam. 30 minit ini sangat diperlukan untuk penyemakan. Mesti semak. Kerana tak kisah kita berapa bagus dalam matematik. Kadang-kadang kita ada kecuaian apabila kita buat dan sangat cepat. Jadi semakan itu sangat penting. Dia akan memberi keyakinan yang lebih besar kepada anda selepas habiskan kertas kan. Jadi memang semak betul-betul. Kalau memang tak cukup masa, memang selepas 2 jam tak siap lagi, is okay. Guna lagi 15 minit untuk siapkan sebanyak mungkin. Tapi sekurang-kurangnya 15 minit untuk buat penyemakan terakhir. Dan di sini boleh buat satu, selepas membaca semua kertas, 10 kertas itu kan, Cikgu Loh memang boleh yakin bahawa section B memang dia suka keluar soalan-soalan yang berkaitan dengan pelukisan graf. Nak lukis graf ini, graf itu, semua pelukisan memang dalam section B. Dan kadang-kadang dalam section C lah. Section C ialah soalan yang pendek tapi bercampuran. Maksudnya, let's say 16A, dia memang 16, dia selalunya 16A, 16B, 16C, dia memang ada satu cerita lah. Tapi walaupun satu cerita yang sama, tetapi perlukan kemahiran yang berbeza daripada topik yang berbeza. Mungkin 16A, dia nak tanya, ini siapa? Ini mungkin Amir, dia pergi jogging dan nak tanya dia punya kelajuan. Lepas tu B pula nak tanya apakah jarak terdekat Amir daripada taman ke rumah, dan uji kamu tentang network in graph theory. Jadi inilah jenis soalan C. Sebenarnya dia senang. Kemudian ikut Slow punya study, saya perasan bahawa soalan yang popular dalam section A inilah, sendiri boleh baca ya. Dan soalan yang popular dalam section B inilah plans, elevation, transformation, measure of dispersion, graph of function. Dan di section C yang selalu popular, suka tanya motion graph. Saya terdapat satu trend lah dalam ini daripada kertas-kertas yang trial paper daripada negeri-negeri yang berlainan, dan juga financial management, memang pengurusan kewangan suka tanya di section C. Tapi ini cuma trend yang saya dapat sekarang lah. kita yang betul-betul punya, kita kena tengok SPM beberapa tahun dulu baru boleh nampak trend kan. Okay, and then there is a note here, ada satu note di bawah, kita boleh tengok. The other topic that was not being mentioned might be tested in any of the section. Topik-topik yang saya tak tulis dalam ni bukannya tak tanya, ialah topik tersebut mungkin akan ditanya di mana-mana bahagian saja. Sebagai contoh, insurance, selalu tak sebut di sini kan. Sebab kadang-kala insurance dia suka tanya di section A, kadang-kala B, kadang-kala C. Okay, itulah idenya. Baik. Sekarang saya nak masuk topik dah. Sebelum masuk topik, nak tanya semua pelajar tentang topik yang berminat dulu. Tapi jangan jawab di dalam Facebook atau YouTube komen ya. Saya ada satu platform untuk semua orang jawab. Jadi sementara ini saya akan keluar daripada sini dulu. Kemudian saya akan tukar. Oh, okay. Okay,
sebab ada dekat komen pun dah bagi dah beberapa topik
cikgu. Awak cepatnya. Thank you Cikgu Farah. Tapi sebab saya nak tanya mereka tentang bahasa juga. So saya akan gunakan inilah untuk tanya mereka. Jadi lebih jelas lah kita boleh nampak. Ya. Okay. Hey. Sudah. Okay. Jadi saya akan beritahu semua macam mana kita buat. Okay. Jadi sekarang perlukan semua pelajar, okay, pergi ke website ini. Di handphone ke, di laptop ke, tekan www.menti.com. Tekan www.menti.com dan masukkan kod 4316-1548. Masukkan kod ini. Selepas masukkan kod ini, sudah boleh buat undian. Jadi sila pilih bahasa anda perlukan pada hari ini. Please choose your preferable language for today learning. So, okay, I can see one student just voted. Okay, I am going to give you like I think 1 minute to cast your vote. Alright, cikgu akan bagi 1 minit untuk buat undian ini.
Okay, link tu dah pun diberi dekat ruangan chat ya adik-adik. Okay, terima kasih Cikgu Teh, Cikgu Kimi. Okay, boleh klik pada link tersebut dan boleh masukkan kod 43161548. 43161548. Terus masuk undi.
Terima kasih Cikgu Farah. Thank you.
Soalan-soalan yang Cikgu tanyakan ya. Ya.
Jadi kita punya matematik di anda mungkin ada pelajar yang belajar dalam BM, ada belajar dalam BI. Jadi kita nak pastikanlah kebanyakan pelajar pada hari ini sebenarnya anda belajar dalam bahasa apa. Okay. Dan saya tahu jugalah ada pelajar-pelajar yang mungkin kurang fasih dalam English dan BM. That's why saya ada option yang ketiga, perlu bantuan dalam bahasa Cina. Tapi of course saya tak akan guna sepenuhnya bahasa Cina. Kalau perlu, mungkin sikit translation untuk pelajar-pelajar yang perlu sahaja. Okay.
Dan untuk ruangan komen, kalau adik-adik nak type, boleh typekan bahasa Melayu dan bahasa Inggeris lah untuk saya bacakan. Kalau bahasa Cina memang saya baca tak bunyi lah.
Ya, kalau boleh sila type dalam bahasa BM dan Inggeris sahaja ya. Kemudian kalau nanti jadi pada hari ini nanti kita masuk ke setiap topik. Pelajar-pelajar boleh terus tanya soalan dalam komen Facebook atau komen YouTube. Cikgu Farah akan terus beritahu seluruh. Sekiranya anda tanya dalam bahasa Melayu, saya akan jawab dalam bahasa Melayu. If you are asking in English, then I will be answering you in English. Okay. 1 minute already over. Okay. So now we can see that 54 students voted. 60% prefer English, 25% prefer BM, 15% need help in Mandarin. So I will go with majority, 60%. Okay. Untuk pelajar-pelajar yang pilih bahasa Melayu, jangan risau sebab nanti saya punya bahan memang dalam 2 bahasa. Walaupun saya akan guna bahasa English untuk buat persembahan, tetapi ayat-ayat dia dalam BM juga. Sekiranya ada slide yang tak ada BM, saya akan cuba translate ke dalam BM lah untuk bantu anda faham. Boleh? So for the students who need help in Mandarin, I can see not many of you. Perhaps you try to understand first, and if really need help, later in the comment session, maybe you can request like, can you explain this in Mandarin a little bit? So maybe I can translate Mandarin a little bit, or you can see my email, right? You can actually send me an email, ask your question also. Yeah. 所以maybe allow me to speak one language one sentence of Mandarin 啊。所以同学们，如果你们需要华语的话，今天我会用英文。如果你们需要用华语来学习的话，还是听不懂的话，其实我的这个 slide 再给你们，里面有个电邮，你们可以电邮给老师，老师会回复你们。好 ，OK， jadi now we come back to English. 哇 ，multi-language today. OK, okay. So next question. Okay, let's look at the next question. Soalan yang seterusnya. Okay, so next question is, how can Selo help you today? Bagaimana Selo dapat membantu anda pada hari ini? So I have two things. I want to know mostly what you want. First is a brief strategy to score paper 2. Second is ask me anything, which means if a lot of you choose ask me anything, I will reserve more time for Q&A. Okay, so another 1 minute for voting. Okay, I can see 91% brief strategy. All right, 25 students voted, 26 voted. All right. Okay.
Masih lagi bertambah nilainya.
Dan saya boleh nampak lah ada pelajar yang dah tulis itu topik dalam komen juga, boleh nampak sikit. Okay, I can see 37, 38 voted. And then I can see, okay, it's like majority go for brief strategy lah to score paper 2. Okay, good. Then in that case, I will spend more time in briefing the strategy. I will reserve only 15 minutes for the Q&A. Okay. I think now 44 voted already. Another 10 minutes, I will stop voting already. Okay, counting down, and 91% is a majority, a strong majority. Okay, time's up for everyone. So, okay, I'll go. So today I'll spend more time in briefing the strategy, lesser time in Q&A lah, since not many of you actually want to ask. Okay, but of course, if you want to ask, you can just ask straight away. You don't have to wait till the end. Okay, you can ask in the comment. All right. So, which question would you like Selo to discuss in detail? Jadi, soalan manakah yang anda harap Selo boleh bincang dan lebih teliti hari ini? Sila type di sini. Okay. So I can see graph. It can try to be more specific. What kind of graph? Okay, we have a lots of graph, right? But I guess the graph that you mentioned might be the Ojai histogram, right? So I can see insurance, I can see graph, I can see probability, I can see text, I can see matrices. Okay, 4 students just voted. Okay, I can see probability a lot. So it's like big probability. Okay. Yeah. So the bigger word means a lot of people actually type it. So I can see all right, I can see insurance also very big. I can see bulatan, trigonometry ratio. Okay, I am actually recording it down. Okay, cool. I can see these are the few topic that is popular for you lah. Insurance. I can see matrices. Okay, matrices quite a lot also. And then a lot of you mentioned graph. Okay, all the graph is important. Okay, I can see a. Okay, now 22 students voted already. All right. Yeah, it's random here and there, but I just want to get a sense like what, which part that I really want to help you. Okay, I can see. Okay, plan and dongakkan got also. Okay, I can see congruency enlargement. I see. Okay, probability a lot. Okay, let me write it down, some important one. Okay, transformations. Okay, definitely I capture transformations. Okay, taxation. So the bigger words mean a lot of people actually mention. The smaller means not many of you mention. So I will focus, most probably I will focus on probability, insurance, taxations, and then transformations. I can trace on transformations. I can see matrices. Okay, no problem. Okay, and what else? Oh, plan and dongakkan quite a lot also. Plan, dongakkan quite a lot. Okay, good. All right. So Time's up. Okay, you can continue to tell me, but I roughly know what is it already, and you can also share in the comment. So everyone, now I'm going to share with you how can we use this. How can we use this? This 4S revision pack. So you can see this one serve as the index. Okay, this one serve as the index. So I actually categorize the topics into 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star for you, right? So I actually prepare the slide for all the topics according to this sequence. So this is a very long slide. I think got around 200 pages. So when you are so later you will get this slide, you will get this link. I'll send you the link in the end of this session. So today, as I said, I cannot go through all the topic. I can only choose some topic that you mentioned just now. I will go through with you. And then this slide is for you. Go home, you can use it to go through all the other topics that I didn't mention here. Okay, so how you can do that? You can follow the sequence here. This is the index. And then if you want to go to certain slide, you can see there is a button here. You can like zoom out a little bit and then you can scroll to find topics that you want to focus and then to study it. So that's the idea lah. Okay, and then now I will show you how we can use this. Okay, I want to start with the topics that you all mentioned first. So my very first topic lah is logical reasoning. Topik yang pertama di sini ialah penaklukan logik. Saya akan skip itu dulu. Okay, I will skip that first because you all didn't really mention about it. I will straight away go to the second, which is more important for you, is graph of motion. Okay, you all actually mentioned graph of motion just now. So how to use my slide? All right, I say this is a 4S revision pack. So 4S means strategy, sample, solution, and skill, right? So first of all, you can look at this strategy. Strategy is my tips for you how to score this topic, what you should do to prepare for this topic. All right. So these are the expected questions. So after my analysis, studying so many papers, very sure for you, it's either distance time graph or speed time graph only will be tested, of course. And then the question they might ask you to complete or draw motion graph. Or they ask you to calculate distance, speed, acceleration, or they will ask you to evaluate the value of t, which is the time usually. And sometimes they will ask you to state duration, state uniform speed. So these are popular questions that might be asked in this chapter. Okay, and then hereby I give you a note. So I give you a simple note about distance time graph and speed time graph. I prepare this note by myself. Jadi adik-adik sini ada satu nota, tetapi nota slow dalam Inggeris. Saya belum ada masa untuk translate ke dalam PM lagi sebab saya ajar di sekolah dalam English kan. Jadi harap-harap ilmu ini dapat membantu pelajar yang belajar dalam PM juga. Ilmu yang sama, cuma bahasanya lain sikit. Okay, so you can study this note by yourself. I'm not going to go through this. I'm very sure you already very familiar with the speed time and distance time. But I want to give you tips. All the green color are the tips. So when you're looking at my slide, look for the green color thing. So these are the tips. So I just want to tell you that is the tips for this chapter. For distance time or speed time, you have only two things to calculate. First, you will need to calculate gradient. Kejerunan. Second, you will need to calculate area under the graph, keluasan di bawah graf. Dalam bab ini ada dua benda yang kamu nak kira sahaja, itu kejerunan atau luas di bawah graf. But sometimes we confuse when to calculate gradient, when to calculate area under the graph. Okay lah, to make it easy. Area under the graph is only for total distance travel. When the question asks, what is the total distance travel? Before you calculate, check your graph first. If you are using a distance time graph, the distance is already here. You don't have to calculate area under the graph. Distance is already there. Why you need to calculate? You just refer to your graph. But if your graph is a speed time graph, go for area under the graph. Understand? Jadi, kalau graph tersebut jadi kalau nak cari keluasan kalau nak cari soalan dia cakap nak tanya jumlah jarak kalau dia nak tanya tentang itu. Jadi selalu tengok graf tersebut dulu. Kalau itu distance time graph, maksudnya jarak masa punya graf, terus rujuk kepada graf lah. Tetapi kalau itu yang laju masa punya graf, okay, terus cari keluasan. So always remember, area under graph is only for you to calculate total distance. And all the other thing, speed, rate of change of distance, acceleration, rate of change of speed, all the other things just go for gradient. So easy or not? So if you remember this, when you see anything like when they ask anything, you can go for gradient actually. Only total distance travel, you need to consider area under the graph. So these are little tips here. All right. And then also you need to extra careful with the unit. Okay, I believe my Zoom taskbar blocked you, but sorry, I need to keep my Zoom taskbar because I need it to, I need it to help me to do annotation. Okay, but I will move my Zoom taskbar, no worry. So extra careful with the unit. This is a very important advice because I found that many questions, they purposely, the graph, they show you minute or second, but they ask you kilometer per hour. So check the question for the requested unit before your calculation. Make sure you convert it to the correct unit before your calculation. So be extra careful with that. So this is strategy. All right. And then next. Okay, so I told you already. 4S. After strategy, I'll give you sample and solution. Okay. So this revision pack is it's not for me to share with you here actually. I just want to share with you how to use this 4S revision. You need to actually go through all of them by yourself. So go home like within these 2-3 weeks. Every day do a little bit, and then what you can how can this be very helpful for you is you can try to do all the question in this slide. I think I have 200 pages, right? I believe I have 50 questions. Good. I didn't count the number of my questions, but I believe I have 50 questions, and it's the question that I believe will be tested in SPM. So just try all of them, and you can do all of them. I'm very confident you should be able to score your SPM. All right. So this is a sample of distance time graph. Okay, and I cannot share with you. I will not teach you like step by step how to do that because it takes up a lot more time. I will just like roughly go through. So when you are reading this slide, look at the red color line. I underline all the keywords or all the key diagram because when you are reading the math paper, you need to quickly know what is this topic about. When you are reading the question, you need to quickly know. So these underlined things will always show you the key. Like, okay, when you see, okay, that is a distance time graph, confirm, we know this is graph of motion. Okay, and then a few tips I want to give you here. Let's see the first question. State the durations of time Adli stopped at Taska Anakku. So when you see this term, S-T-A-T-E, state, atau nyatakan. When you see state or nyatakan, don't calculate. Jangan kira. Because state and nyatakan is actually want you to give answer straight away. Just write the answer straight away. Don't even need to show step. Just straight away give answer. So which means the answer is simple that you can know immediately. So for example, this case, we can just go through. Yeah, if you want to ask any question, you can straight away ask in the comment of YouTube or Facebook. And then our Cikgu Farah will tell me, and then I will answer your questions immediately. Don't wait until the end, yeah? Okay, we can just go through this question.
Okay.
Cikgu Farah ada soalan?
Cumanya ada request daripada adik Tuila Wong, mungkin dia lambat sikit masuk. Dia kata, teacher, can you speak in Malay? Sebab tadi kita dah buat survey tadi ni, ramai yang nak dalam English.
Oh, okay. So, sorry ya, Wong. Cikgu akan cakap dalam English dulu sebab banyak yang dia nak English. Tetapi jangan risau. Bahan ini memang dua bahasa. Okay, jadi boleh rujuklah. Dan masa ini untuk latih sikit English listening untuk hari Isnin. Okay, so kita boleh tengok. So every morning, Adli will drive his car to Pasar Tani, the place where he trades nasi lemak. The distance time graph in diagram 11 shows the motion of his car from his house to Pasar Tani. So we all know that this Adli is driving to Pasar Tani. And then Adli will stop a while at Taska Anakku. Okay, so we all can see lah. Nah, Adli is driving until here, stop. Okay, and then going up again. So we know that this part is the stopping part. So state the duration is very easy, no? Okay, Adli stop at Taska Anakku. So how long? We can just check the time. So 18 minus 10, which is like 8 minutes. So you see, we don't have to write any step. Just 8 minutes is very clear. And then after that, next, calculate the speed. Calculate the speed from house to Taska Anakku. Okay, remember, just now I said, graph of motion have two things that you need to calculate. It's either gradient or either area under graph. And then I said, area under graph is only for total distance travel. So speed, what should you go for? You should go for gradient. So what you need to do is just to calculate gradient. But calculate which gradient? Because we have 3 lines here. We have 1 line, 2 line, 3 lines. So we just check lah, from house to Taska Anakku, which means this line. What we need to do is to calculate the gradient of this line. Okay, to calculate gradient of this line, okay, I try to zoom in the line a little bit. This line, I zoom in a bit. Okay, and to calculate gradient, we know we have like 2 points. Check the coordinate point first. Check the coordinate point first. And then we know that the x coordinate, look at the x coordinate is 10. And if you think that it's 10, you are wrong. You know why? Because this is minute. And they are asking you about kilometer per hour. So be extra careful with the unit. So when you are writing the coordinate, don't write 10, but convert 10 minutes to hour. So we know minute, if you want to convert to hour, you need to divide by 60, right? So the answer is 10 over 60 for the coordinate, okay, for the x. And then the y is easy. We check, okay, km, no problem. So we just copy. So 10 over 60, comma, 5. And then this one, you know, this point is 0, 0 lah. It's very obvious 0, 0. So, sorry. So it's 0, 0. So it's not a problem. Okay, and then to calculate gradient, we know what we need to do is just to like 5 minus 0 over 10 over 60 minus 0. Okay, so it's y minus y over x minus x. We get the gradient, and that is the speed. So it's very easy. Okay, and then next, look at the next question. Next question, calculate the value of m if the average speed of the whole journey is 45 kilometers per hour. Okay, when we talk about average speed, please remember the formula. I gave you the formula in the note just now. In case you really forgot, that day you really forgot, no worry. SPM always give you a list of formula. And the formula for average speed is given. So average speed, we know, is total distance divided by total time. So what is the total distance? It's m kilometer. What is the total time? It's 24 minutes, but convert it to hour, please. So yeah, then you get average speed. So that's the idea. So you see, just focus on gradient and area on the graph will be very helpful for you. Okay, and so this is just a sample for you. After you try the question, you want to check the answer, you just click, the answer is here. We all can see the answer is here. Okay, it's very obvious. And then next, another graph is speed time graph. Okay, let's go through a little bit. So calculate average speed. Average speed again, total distance divided by total time. So now total distance, we look at the y-axis first. This is speed, no distance. So how? Total distance, area under the graph. Just calculate area under the graph, we will be able to get total distance. Divide by the time. Okay, tada, we got the answer. And then describe motion. Describe the motion for the next 6 seconds, which means we will describe this one. This is what? Uniform speed. The particle is, this particle, right? The particle is moving in the uniform speed. The speed is constant. Okay, so this is the motion. So it's actually very simple. As long as you know motion graph, calculate either gradient or area under graph. That's 2 things. Alright. Cikgu Farah, ada soalan ke sekarang?
Okey, ada soalan. Okey, okey, daripada adik Yakasoku. Okey, how to answer if the question asks to calculate the total time and it already show on graph. Kini dalam graph tu dah ada dah dia punya masa tu, tapi macam mana nak kira masa tu? Okey, kemudian maksudnya
okay.
mungkin nak total masa kan. Okey. Kemudian untuk adik Ian Chee, okay, I got a question to ask. Do you have got the matrix method?
Yes. Matrix method later. Matrix method later. I will show you matrix method very soon. Okay. Thank you, Cikgu Farah. Untuk yakusoku. Okay, this is Japanese. Okay, watashi wa sukoshi nihongo ga hanasemasu. Okay. So yakusoku. Actually, I don't really understand your question. Perhaps you can clarify more, but I understand is if the question asks to calculate total time and it's already show on the graph, huh? If already show on the graph, you don't have to calculate. For example, the total time for this is
Just take
18.
je.
Yeah, just write your answer straight away. You don't have to calculate already because it's already given. Yeah, it's already being given. Like the graph just now, the graph just now, the total time also given already is 24 minutes. But probably they might want to ask how many hours. 24 minutes, how many hours? It's just 24 divided by 60. So I believe this is the question that you want to ask, right? In case I haven't answered your question, you can ask me one more time. Okay, clarify your question a little bit. Thank you. Okay, thank you Ian Chee and
Okay.
thank you Yakusoku. Cikgu Farah ada
Dan
lagi?
adik yang Cee tu dia cuba jawab untuk soalan ni lah. 12 minus 0 divided by 10 minus 0 kah?
Soalan ini kah?
For
12
this
minus
question kot.
0.
Sebab 12. Untuk
Tengok
soalan.
12 minus 0. Soalan ini mengapa 12 minus 0 nanti ya. I rasa bukan. I think Yan Chi I'm not sure. Are you referring to this question? Because I don't think so. So to calculate area, as I said just now, is to calculate the area and total distance divided by total time. So total distance you need to get area under the graph. So you need to calculate lah. Area for the first shape is triangle 1/2 times 6 times 10. This one is a square. It's a rectangle. So it's 6 times 10. This one is a trapezium. It's like 1/2 times 10 plus 22 times 6. Okay, so just need to calculate area under the graph. So it's not that one. I think that one is another thing, I guess. Yeah. Okay, any more question? If no more, I'll move on first. Cikgu Farah sementara tak ada. Okay, bagus. Kita pergi yang seterusnya. So everyone, if you miss out what I shared here, you can always check for the answer here. I gave you answer here already, so no worry about that. Okay, and then I said 4S, strategy, sample, solution, and skill. So the skill is the place for you to click this. This will link you to a website called Transom. I have been using Transom to teach. So this website is a good website to train your skill. Let's say you want to train your skill on this motion graph, you just click. So just come here and just click, and you will be linked to the website. Okay, I'm not going to show you the website at the moment, but you can try it out yourself later. But I will advise lah, if your math is already good, I mean, if you are scoring credit already for your math paper in your trial exam, you don't have to do this already. This one is for you to try if you are very weak and you wish to train yourself. This is a training ground, like a gym. Sangat lemah, you nak train jadi hebat sikit, okay, datang sini. Kalau sudah okay, tak payah, you just go through saja. Ini untuk yang memang nak train, okay? Or else you don't have time to finish all the thing. You have so many subjects, Yeah.
Sebelum teruskan, ada lagi satu question daripada adik Dagom. Okay, sir, is there a K-byte version of motion graph question?
Definitely, yes, there is a K-byte version, but the question I showed just now is like standard question lah. It's like standard kind of question will be asked. All the topics they might twist it to K-byte. All the topics, so we will not know which topic can be twisted to K-byte. Some of the topics here, I chose a K-byte question. Some is like standard. So just now was considered standard. So if you want to handle K-byte question, actually don't make yourself too complicated. Make sure you are very good with the concept. If you are very good with the concept, no matter how K-byte is it, you can actually answer. So come back to this note. You need to be very firm with the concept. Okay, and then the K-byte question that I give you an example that I see. Perhaps I can twist this question to K-byte question. I can say, okay, perhaps I can tell you. I just simply create a question lah. Array speed is equal to, let's say, 100. I just simply put 100, and then I try to close this. I can give you alphabet K. So I'll ask you, okay, what is K? Now this is K bar already. But as long as you know the formula, okay, average speed equal to total distance divided by total time, you just like substitute, move here and there, you still can get a K. And this is not really K bar yet. It still can be twisted a bit more. Okay, but as long as you are firm with the concept, and if you want to try some K bar question, yes, you may. You come to this website, you click this website. I think you can see, right? We have level 1. Sorry, not this color. You have level 1, 2, 3, 4. You can come to level 4 or exam. Lots of K bar here. Level 1, 2 are basic lah. Level 4 and exam got a lot of K bar here. You can come and try later. No worry, all of you will get the slide later. Stay tuned, and at the end I give you the link. Okay. All right. Now, chapter 9, probability. A lot of you mentioned probability as well. So what you need to expect is they will ask you the concept about independent and non-independent event. You need to know what is independent and non-independent. You need to know what is mutually exclusive event. And you need to list, the question will request you to list out all the possible outcomes, and we'll ask you to calculate probabilities and a lots of tree diagram related questions. So for this chapter, you might need to use tree diagram a lot to solve the probability. Okay, let's see. Okay, this question is about mutually exclusive, and you see my underline. I straight away go for the keyword already. Is this mutually exclusive or not? So let's see. We can read the question. A dice is rolled. A is the event of getting a factor of 6. Okay, when you see this, you straight away you list out your answer already. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 6 in A. Okay, straight away list out your answer. Okay, and then after that, B is the odd number. All right, 1, 3, 5. Remember, this is a dice. The highest odd number is just 5. Don't go for 7. Okay. And then they ask you whether they are mutually exclusive or not. So you need to be very clear with the concept. What is mutually exclusive? So we all know that mutually exclusive means no overlapping. Like event of choosing a boy, event of choosing a girl is mutually exclusive. It's either boy or either girl. You cannot get someone who is boy and girl together, right? Okay. So this one, we can see overlapping in the 1 and 3. So this is non-mutually exclusive. It's very easy. And then use Venn diagram to illustrate this. We can just draw the Venn diagram. All right. I can show you the answer straight away. Wait. So this is a note. So when you look at this green color border, are all the notes. So in my note, I tell you what is dependent and what is independent. You can come to study yourself. Revise yourself. I am very sure you learned it already, but it's a quick revision. Okay. And then mutually exclusive and non-mutually exclusive. Look at the diagram, you know lah. Mutually exclusive is not overlapping, but non-mutually exclusive will be overlapping. That's the idea. All right. And the answer for just now is like this. I'm not sure whether you all noticed or not. This is the Venn diagram for the case just now. This Venn diagram got a little mistake. There is a little mistake in this Venn diagram. You see, we have one, we have number, we have the dice, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Oops, 4 is missing. Actually, you should write out the 4 also. The 4 should be outside with a dot 4. Remember, when you are writing the element in your Venn diagram, you need to dot. You need to show the dot, or else it's wrong. All right. Okay. Now we are going to another question. So let's see the key of this question: listing down all possible outcomes. Okay. And then I just go through the story with you lah. You don't have to read so many things, huh? So there are 2 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. So this student will choose 1 card from box X and then 1 card from box Y. So what is the sample space? So you see, the question actually asks you to complete the sample space. So it's very easy. So you see, for all the probability question, it's like bonus mark question. What you need to do is really, just list out all of them. So this is like 1A and then 1B. After that, 1C. I'm not going to list out all of them. I think you know how to list out 2A, 2B, 2C, 3A, 3B, 3C. And then after we list out, usually they will ask us to calculate probability. So you can see, listing down all the possible outcomes, we find the probability. So we need to look at the situation. So let's look at B1. one card label a number less than 4. Number less than 4 means 1, 2, or 3. And one card label with consonant letter. So, what are them? We can quickly list out already. And when you are doing listing, I think I want to use a bigger font so that all of you can see that. I think I list out here, yeah, so that you all can see a bigger font for all of you. Yeah, it's clearer for all of you. Okay, so when you are listing out, make sure you have this symbol, the curly braces. No curly braces, 0 mark. Yeah, when you are listing anything in math, always curly braces. Okay, mesti ada kurungan yang macam ni untuk senaraikan apa-apa saja. Kalau tak ada kurungan macam ni, terus kosong markah. Okay, so one card less than 4, so which mean 1 okay loh. And then after that, and it can bracket lah. Okay, the next one, the letter with consonant, so it's 1B. Wait, it's too much, it's too big already. I want to go for this side. I think it's better. So let's list out all of them. So 1B, and then 1C that fulfill the criteria, and then 2A, and then sorry, not 2A, consonant 2B, and then 2C, 3B, 3B, and then 3C. 4 cannot, because it's 4 already. We need something less than 4. So this is how you list out. So you successfully listing out will earn you some marks already. And after that, just calculate probability. I found that a lot of students, after they list, they forget to calculate probability. Don't forget. The question actually asks you to find the probability. Jangan selepas senarai, okay, habis, terlupa nak kira kebarangkalian. Okay, don't forget that. So just calculate probability, and it's very easy to calculate probability. You can just write P. Okay, don't have to write very complicated symbol. You just write a P. P stands for probability. Just count how many elements here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So altogether 6 outcomes. Divide by the total number of sample space is actually 15. So 6 over 15. And done. Correct. But I will always advise you, before you move on, please simplify your answer. Okay, always simplify your answer. In math, we always want the simplified version. Always leave your answer in the simplest form. So 6 and 15, you can just divide by 3, you will get 2 over 5. So this is something you need to know. All right. And then also, when you're doing this, pay attention to the N and OR. So like this question is N, okay? But if I want to change this to OR, actually I have many more choice. Okay, if I change this to OR, which means any number, any card with a number less than 4, I accept. Any card with consonant, I accept, which means 1A I can accept also. Because 1A, I have the 1 less than 4, accept. Although I don't have consonant, I accept. And then 2A, I accept also. Okay, and then what else I accept? 3A, I accept also. And then when you come to 4B, 4C, I accept also, because 4B and 4C, we have consonants, although it's like 4 already, but we have consonants. So if OR is a bit like, more choices, but N is like very strict. Jadi kena hati-hati dengan perkataan dan atau. Okay, dan atau. Okay, kalau dan memang sangat-sangat kena sangat hati-hatilah, dan memang dia agak strict sikit. Strict kita panggil apa dalam bahasa Melayu? Tiba-tiba tak ingat dalam bahasa Melayu panggil apa. Okay.
Wajib pilih.
Sorry?
Wajib. Kita wajib ambil lah.
Ya. Kalau ada dan, maksudnya dua kriteria
mesti
adalah wajib lah. Tapi kalau atau, dia memang suka hatilah. Kriteria yang pertama ada pun boleh, kriteria yang kedua ada pun boleh. Jadi kena hati-hati dengan istilah ini. Alright? Jadi ini probability lah. And then you can refer to the answer. The answer that we have just now is 6 over 15. This one not a problem already. And then next, this is another question. Okay, let's go through this question. This question will need use another skill. So calculate the probability. Getting the first card label with a vowel and the second card labeled with consonant. And let's see what happened. Box Q contains 5 cards labeled with bijak, B-I-J-A-K. 2 cards are taken out randomly one by one from box Q without replacement. Okay, without replacement. Everyone, this case, you have 2 actions. Action 1, take out 1 card. I mean 2 events. Event 1, take out 1 card. Put aside. And then event 2, take out another card. So you have 2 events, and we can see there is a sequence. There is a sequence, event 1 and then event 2. Okay, and these 2 events are considered dependent. Why dependent? Because what happened in event 1 will affect whatever in event 2. Why? Because without replacement. For example, if first time I take out B, second time I will not get B already. Impossible for me to get B already. Right? So for this kind of dependent event, you can see the sequence, event 1, event 2. Please use tree diagram. Tree diagram is the best to tackle this kind of question. So how to use tree diagram? I will just give you a draft. Okay. Allow me to just, no, not this. Allow me to close this part for a while. Okay, I think I just leave the bijak lah. Okay. So to draw Venn diagram, you need to think. You need to draw Venn diagram, look at the thing that we want. We want this vowel and consonant, which means I don't care it's B-I-J-A-K. I don't care about B-I-J-K. I care about vowel or consonant. So I will just build my tree diagram. And the first one, so let's say I get a vowel. Second one, I get a consonant, vowel and consonant. Okay. And then the question actually wants, first card is vowel. Okay, first card is vowel. And then second card, they want consonant. Okay, so I just like focus on the first one, vowel, and then vowel, and consonant. So the thing that we want to focus is this one, vowel first, and then consonant. This is a line that we want, and then we can actually try to write down the probability for this line. Okay, bijak, B-I-J-A-K. We have 2 vowels, so 2. Total 5, so 2 over 5. Consonant 3 over 5. This is the probability. And we will go along this after vowel, we want consonant, right? So you just ask yourself, after I took out 1 vowel, I have how many consonants? I have 3 consonants. Okay, I still have 3 consonants. But altogether, total, I have how many cards? I have 4 cards. So you need to be very careful. So you see, tree diagram is very useful. And then in order to get the probability, it's very easy. Along this same line, we just multiply these 2 things together. These 2 things, you can just multiply 2 over 5, multiply by 3 over 4, tada, and you get the answer. You see, it's very fast. This is like how to use tree diagram lah. Okay, I think I erased too fast already. So this is how it looks like, yeah. Okay, and then next, the answer I gave you another option. The answer actually I show you here. They list out the sample space, B-I, B-J, B-A, B-K. Can also, but don't you think it's very long? Okay, so I feel like tree diagram is easier for us to solve this question. So tree diagram is the best. Okay, it's not the best, it's the best. Okay, and then this is another question about tree diagram as well. Since we have been talking about it, I will skip this already. And then I just want to give you a tips. So you can see the green color are all the tips, yeah? So use multiplication to calculate the probability along 1 line of combined event. Means what? Let's look at the question. The question said, calculate a probability of only like 1 type of food. Try to understand. The first student like nasi lemak and like mee goreng. Okay, this student like 2 types of food. Second type of student, he or she love nasi lemak but don't like mee goreng. So this is the one. This is the line that we want. Only 1 type of food. Okay. Third line, don't like nasi lemak. Nasi lemak pula, nasi goreng. Don't like nasi goreng and then like mee goreng. So also 1 type of food. So these 2 lines are the line that we want. The last line, don't like nasi goreng, don't like mee goreng. Okay lah, we don't want that too. So we only want these 2 lines. And then I say use multiplications along one line, which means when you are doing calculations, one line, 4 over 9, 5 over 11, you just multiply. Okay? Wait, this is not 5 over 11. I think the number a bit, sang a bit. Actually, it's this one, 6 over 11. So 4 over 9 multiply 6 over 11. So you can see here, multiply. Along same line, we multiply. After that, you can see that this line, 5 over 9 multiply 5 over 11. Same line, we multiply. Okay? Pada line yang sama, kita darab sajalah. Okay, I think it's my circle is too big already. I just use highlight for you lah. So this one is the multiplication for the first one, and then the multiplication for the second one. Okay? And then different line, when you want to sum up, you want to total up, we will use addition. So only two operations you will need to use in this tree diagram. Along the same line, you do multiplication. Okay, a different line you want to sum up together, we do addition. So that's the final answer, 49 over 99. That's it. Okay, so again, if you want to practice your skill about probability, I have two very good websites. One is Transom Probability, one is Transom Tree Diagram. You can for those who love K-Bar question, you can come to Transom Tree Diagram because there are lots of K-Bar questions about tree diagram. Yeah, you can try it out. Okay, it's a very useful website lah. Okay, so Cikgu Farah, ada soalan sekarang sebentar ni? Dah lepas 2 topik. Ada soalan?
Kita ada 2 topik ni. Setakat ini untuk tajuk kebarangkalian tak ada soalan ni.
Okay. Terima kasih Cikgu Farah. Okay, so we already mentioned graph of motion and also probability. We will go for the next one. Financial management, just now not many of you choose. I will skip first. You all can study by yourself lah. I just all of the things here are for you to study. And now matrices. Just now I think Chee, is it? Chee. Is you asked about matrices, and a lot of you voted for matrices. Okay, so matrices. Matrices, it's the topic that you were very happy with because that is only one style of question will be asked in SPM. Only one style. How the question will be asked? The question will give you a situation, a problem. After you read the situation or you read the problem, you will need to solve the problem by identifying the value of X and Y, find the value of two variables. Okay, and then the question is the method to approach this question is fixed already. When you see matrix question, first step, always form two linear equations from the equation given using X and Y, using variable X and Y. 2x plus 3y equals something like that. Form two linear equation. And you will ask, Sir Lo, if I don't want to use X and Y, I want to use A, B, P, Q, M, N, can or not? Can. But I would say X and Y is the best because X and Y is like general unknown that we are using for all the questions. So let's say you see the question, you need to find a number of, let's say the price of watermelon and the price of durian. So watermelon W, durian D. So you use WD can, no problem. But I will advise you, just go ahead for X and Y. X for watermelon, Y for durian. Okay, because we want to avoid one thing lah. If you use WD suddenly, when you forgot, you change it to X and Y, you might be penalty. But if in the beginning you use XY all the way, it's good, right? So XY is good enough. After that, after you form your two linear equations, express it in matrix form. Okay, you will earn 1 mark in the matrix form. After that, solve your matrix equation using inverse matrix. Okay, and when you are showing inverse matrix, don't show me the inverse matrix directly. Please show me your step 1 over AD minus BC. AD swap the position of AD, and then the positive negative sign for the BC is very important. And then last but not least, perform matrix multiplications to get your X and Y. And lastly, one very important advice, a lot of you might carelessly didn't do that. Write your X and Y separately. Your answer of X and Y must be separate. You cannot just bracket X, Y, and then leave it there. No, you should write X equal to what, comma, Y equal to what, or else 1 mark will be deducted. This is something very important. Okay, let's look at the sample question. Okay, so sample question, and there is a very strong keyword for matrix question. the question will always say, gunakan kaedah matrix using matrix method. So you don't have to think too much. If metric question, they will straight away tell you use matrix method. You don't think too much. If they didn't ask you to use metric method, don't use. Only use metric method if they ask you to. So there will be a question like this. Okay, so you don't have to think too much. And then what you need to do is, after you study the question, you need to come out with the equation. So for this one, we can see promotion offered by Amina Nursery. Okay, so we see the promotion. Okay, 2 pokok bunga ros dengan 2 pokok keladi RM140. 5 pokok bunga ros, 1 pokok keladi RM150. So, and let's see what is the thing that we are looking for. We are looking for price for rose tree, bunga rose, and price for yam tree. So the thing that you are interested, you are looking for is always your X and Y. The first one, the price for rose is X. Okay, a very big X, sorry. I use a smaller X, okay? So yeah, and then the price for yam tree automatically will be Y already. You don't use, no need to go to use R and Y, rose for R and then yam for Y. No need, just X and Y is fine. Okay, and then we know that 2 rose and 2 keladi is 140, then 2x plus 2y is 140, right? So always just read the question, what they want you to calculate. The thing that they want you to calculate is X and Y already. And then pair up your X and Y with the information given to form your equations. So as long as you can form your equation, the rest of the step is easy already. The hardest step is to understand the situation and form the equation. And always double check before you continue. Because if your first one is wrong, all the rest will be wrong. Of course, you still can earn some mark, but sayang lo, if can, the first one you make it right, you start with the right one and all the thing will be right. So you can see, if you list out your linear equation, 1 mark. Matrix form, 1 mark. Showing matrix, inverse matrix, this is the method 1 over AD minus BC, showing the method 1 mark. So you need to show. If you don't show, you straight away give me the inverse matrix, yes, you can get the mark as well. But if you accidentally, you calculate something wrong, no mark. But if you show us a step, we see the step, according to the step, we can still give you mark. So always show the step. All right. And then answer X20, Y50, 1 mark, 1 mark lah. But sometimes X20, Y50 only 1 mark lah. Sometimes 2 marks. So depending on the marking scheme. So this is something that you need to know. All right. Okay. Yeah, those are matrices. So I think very short topics. I mean, very short discussion. And if you have question, you may ask already about matrices. If you have, if you don't have, I'll proceed first. Okay. Then the next thing that you want to ask me is about graph. Okay, and for this chapter, measures of dispersions, a lot of graph inside. Okay, let me just talk to you about this measure of dispersion for a while. This is a long topic. Why long topic? Because it's Form 4 and Form 2, Form 4 and Form 5 combined together. So what will be being asked in this topic? Central of tendency. What is central of tendency? It's mean, mode, median. They will ask you to calculate measures of dispersions. It is range, interquartile range, variance, and standard deviations. They will ask you to draw stem and leaf, dot plots, and box plot. But my hypothesis is, usually it's only one of them. They won't ask you to draw all. They ask you to draw one of them only. And then the popular one, the most popular is box plot. I see a lot of paper ask about box plot. Okay, this is popular lah. And then they will ask you to draw histogram, frequency polygon, and ogive. Okay, and then I will say that 3 of them are equally popular, but I have strong confidence that, I mean, not strong confidence, my instinct tell me that ogive might be more important than another 2, because ogive give you a lot of information. Ogive give you first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, give you interquartile range, a lot more things to discuss. So I have strong instinct, ogive might be the one. So please must know how to draw ogive. And one thing, if they want to ask you about box plot, they will surely ask you ogive. Ogive and box plot are together. You can only draw your box plot by having your ogive. So guess what? Okay, what will be us? Okay, you can think about it lah. Okay, this is my guess and my hypothesis. Okay, it's mainly my hypothesis. All right, and then justify your answer based on calculations or drawing, which means in this chapter, a lot of time after you give your answer, you need to give some explanations, and you need to, like, after you show your graph, you need to answer some question based on your graph. All right, so let's go through some question. Okay, I have some notes for you in case you forgot the formula. Yeah, here are the place for you to refer the formula. And then this note also, I just want to tell you, for this is the difference between central tendency and dispersion. So let's talk about effect of data changes. Let's say your data, all the data added by some value or subtracted by some value, multiplied by some value, divided by some value. No matter how you change your data, your central tendency all will be affected. Your mean, mode, median all will be affected accordingly. But for dispersion, if you plus something or you minus something on your data, will not affect your dispersion at all. Okay, will not. Only multiplications and division will affect your dispersion. And one more special thing is, if all the data multiply by k, then your variance multiply by k squared. The variance is the only special thing here lah. So this is a quick note for you to remember the effect of data change. All right. And then this is a quick note for you to remember how stem and leaf, dot plot, and box plot looks like. Of course, I take all of this from our textbook. I just want to put it here together so that easy for us to revise. Or else you will still want to flip your textbook. Your textbook is thick already. So I am putting it here. It's easier for you. And then this is my tips for you to remember how to draw histogram, frequency, polygon, or ogives. Because sometimes we will confuse. What is the y-axis or x-axis of these three graphs? Yeah. Okay, I created this sentence. My sentence is, his Facebook fans page fans many. Oh, queue up. So you can see this story. Wow, his Facebook, wow, banyak fans fans page banyak fans Wow, sampai itu fans queue up. Okay, so what is the what this story try to tell you the y and x-axis of everything. His Facebook, we see his Facebook first. His Facebook means his FB. His stand for histogram. FB stand for frequency versus boundary. So frequency is the y. Okay, it's the vertical axis. Boundary means the lower boundary and upper boundary together lah. So it's the horizontal axis. So frequency versus boundary for histogram. And then frequency polygon will be fans page fans many. Okay, I created this so that you're all easy to remember. So fan page fans many will be FPFM. FP stand for frequency polygon. Fans many, FM. Frequency, midpoint. Frequency, midpoint. So you can see at the bottom there, frequency at midpoint. So it's easy to remember. And then ogive is O Q up. O, of course, is like ogive. Q up, what is Q up? Q up is cumulative frequency versus upper boundary. Okay, for ogive. And also another way to remember, ogive is like a snake, right? So I always imagine the snake is like Q up, a very cute snake, and then up, Q up. Okay, so I mean, when we are learning, always use some interesting method help us to get excited with the idea and then to recall the memory. So I think this is a way lah for you to remember it. All right. So yep. And then hopefully that will help you to draw the graph. And then while you are preparing this chapter, remember to go through this also. You need to know what is the name of all the different shape, what is bell shape, what is uniform shape, how a right skew looks like, how a left skew looks like, J shape, bimodal. So go through the name of the shape. And make sure you know how to study ogive. We all know that ogive is very simple. The total is here, and then you can divide the ogive into four. Cut into 4 parts. So the first part will be first quartile. Second will be second quartile, which is median. Third part will be third quartile. And while you are having your quartile, you will be able to find interquartile range Q3 minus Q1. And then this is box plot. Box plot, actually I said already, if they're asking to draw box plot, I'm very sure they will give you ogive, or they may ask you to draw the ogive first. Okay, so something very important about box plot is minimum point, and then minimum value lah, and then first quartile, median, third quartile, and maximum point. So all of the information you may refer to your ogive. Just refer to your ogive. And then how to read left or right skew. Remember, look at the tail. You see the tail is right. The longer one is a tail. It's like this one looks like a mouse. Nampak macam tikus. So the longer one is a tail. So if the tail to the left, left skew. If the tail to the right, right skew. That's it. Okay. And then next, okay, this is a sample and solution again. So I just go through some important questions with you lah. We have so many important questions, huh? So let's see. Determine the appropriate measure of dispersion to be used to select a partition who is more consistent. Remember, we have mean, mode, median. We have range, interquartile range, variance, standard deviation. Out of so many of them, to check which one is more consistent, standard deviation is the best. Standard deviation is the best. So just strike standard deviation, finish. And then they ask you to calculate mean, variance, standard deviation. Just use the formula. And then when you're using the formula, if you copy the formula from the formula sheet, no mark. But the moment you substitute the value, you show the value, okay, you will get a mark already. And if you get the correct answer, you get full marks. That's it. And then the question is asking, determine who is the winner. Justify your answer. Determine who is the most consistent in the competition. Justify your answer. So this is my tips for you. To compare the quality, to know who is the winner, compare the mean. Because you calculate the mean, you compare the mean. Okay? And then, don't tell me that higher mean is the winner. Sometimes lower mean is the winner. You need to know what is the thing that you are calculating. For this one, this is about 2 athletes. This is a score. So score, which means higher score will be the winner. So higher score will be winner. But if the question is asking like running time, you know, when you are in the running competition, shorter time is the winner. So the lower the mean, that will be the winner. So compare the mean. So but don't go to memorize that, higher mean must be the winner. No. Sometimes lower mean will be the winner. So depending on the competition, depending on the meaning of the value. And then to compare the consistency, always compare the variance or standard deviation. But I will say standard deviation better. Okay, compare your standard deviation. Because we need to understand, standard deviation is dispersion. Okay, when we pronounce dispersions, you will feel like your saliva is like trying to, it's a bit like dispersed from your mouth. So it's like being distributed. So the higher the dispersion, the more distributed the data. When the data is very distributed, it's not consistent. If you want them to be consistent, you need to choose something with low standard deviation, very low standard deviation. The lower, the better. So remember this idea. So we can look at the answer. So we can see Chanson, the standard deviation is 0.833. Adam, standard deviation, Sisehan Piawai is 0.711. So if I ask you, who is more consistent, Chanson or Adam? Of course, you need to tell me Adam is more consistent because with lower standard deviation. So you can see peserta B lebih consistent. Peserta B adalah Adam lah, dia lebih consistent. Okay, so that's the idea. All right. This question is about.
Slow.
Yeah, Cikgu Farah.
Okay, ada soalan daripada adik Dagom. Okay, is there a question that requires you to convert the graph into another form? Example, histogram to frequency polygon.
Yes, ada. Nanti I tunjuk Yes, ada. Later I show you. Thank you. A very good question. Okay, and then this one is to calculate the median. I think this one is fine. This one I'll just skip this lah because you all want the graph, right? I'll skip this first. But to let you know, sometimes they will ask you to draw box plot. You can see this box plot. And then remember, if you see the answer like this, usually they will ask what is the outlier? You look at the answer, they ask you what is the outlier. So outlier, remember, is the furthest point from all the others point. Is the most extreme. Is the largest point or the lowest point out of all the other points. So this is the outlier. But of course, my scale at the bottom is a bit sengit. Actually, this is 10 lah. So if they ask for outlier, you can actually say 10. Okay, so this is something special about this box plot. Okay, and then this is a question that asks you need to interpret the stem and leaf and dot plot to answer the question. But I will skip this first. I'll go to the more important one behind. Now, this one we can just quickly go through. State the distributions of histogram of these two events. So just look at the shape, and you need to know what shape is this. So this one is like we start from this one, we go up. You see the shape is like quite even, right? Like a inverted U. So this is a bell shape. And this one we see. This one might not be very obvious, but we can see this one is not a uniform U. We can see that the tail is going to left a little bit. The tail is like going to left a little bit. So this is actually left skew. This is not very obvious, to be honest, but this is left skew. So the first one is bell shape. So you need to know the name of the shape sometime. And then the question is asking for compare the distributions of time of the two events. So if you look at the distribution, okay, this one is like actually we can just like compare lah. This one is like spreading out a lot. Oh, sorry, this is not nice. Okay lah, I use this lah. So you can see this one spread out a lot more. This one focus a lot here, focus a lot on the right hand side. So you can just say the events of this is M16, male 16. I think it's laki bawah 16. Okay, so for the M16 is more distributed. You can just say it's more distributed. So when the question asks you to compare, you just say higher, lower, more distributed, less distributed. This is how you can answer. So the answer is more distributed. The M16 is more distributed. That's it. Finish. And then if they ask you for the event which show better performance. Okay, now you need to understand what is this about. So this is a time taken by athlete. Okay, it's running. So better performance means you run faster, shorter time. So we check the middle. This middle is 10.95. This is what? This is hour or second. It didn't say hour or second. I think this is minute. No, 100 meters. Sorry, 100 meters is second lah. Impossible minute. So this is second. Okay, and then the middle of this one is more than 10.95. So we know. Okay, the better performance is actually the M18. Okay, lelaki 18 lebih baik. Okay, not just that, not just comparing the center, we also compare the distribution. I said already, more consistent is better. So the M18 is less distributed, is more consistent, is better lah. So this is how you can actually choose. Okay, so this is one of the questions about this graph. Okay, now we come to the graph drawing question already. If for graph drawing, they always love to ask you to complete a table. They will give you a table, surely give you a table. Before drawing the graph, they will let you to complete a table. So you can see the table on the right-hand side. And then let's see what they ask you to complete. They ask you to complete upper boundary. They ask you to complete cumulative frequency. When I see this, I immediately know what is the graph that's going to be tested. They will test us for ogive already, because upper boundary and cumulative frequency is for ogive. They will not ask you to do midpoint frequency, suddenly ask you for ogive. They will not do that. The answer for your table surely link to your graph. Surely will link. Okay, because the SPM paper are there meant to guide you, not to torture you, but to guide you, to help you. Okay, SPM want to actually assess you to see whether you understand or not to set a trap for you to jump into it. So that is not the purpose, right? Okay, and then after you fill in the blank, complete the table, you just draw the graph. So you see, they will ask you, use the graph paper provided, draw the graph. And remember, in SPM, if you are drawing anything, please use pencil. And then please buy yourself a better quality pencil. A better quality pencil means the ink, the trace is a bit more darker, and then very obvious and easy to erase also. Darker but easy to erase also. I mean, because if you draw wrongly, you don't want it to it to like the pencil trace stay on the paper until very hard to erase and very hard for the marker to see, right? So buy a better quality pencil. But what is the better brand? You know, I know. I'm not going to do advertisement here. Okay, they didn't pay me for anything. Okay, so go for the better pencil. Okay, and then make sure bring sharpener into the exam hall as well, so that your pencil is a bit more sharper when you're drawing this kind of graph. Don't let your pencil to become dull, and then the trace will be very thick, and it's not very good for you lah. Try to be a bit more precise in your graph. Okay, and then when you are drawing, refer to the scale given, 2 cm to how many km, 2 cm to how much. Refer to the scale given. Okay, and then you can draw. After draw, you see, based on the ogive, find 50 percentile, which means after drawing, based on your graph, you need to answer some question. And if the question said, based on the graph, find something, you must really based on the graph. You cannot calculate it. You cannot think of the answer yourself. You must refer to your graph. Even though your graph sometimes might be a bit sengek, then your answer is a bit sengek, is fine, because there will be a range of answer for the marker to score you. So maybe the exact answer, let's say, is 5. But if you get 5.4, 5.6, it's actually depending on the situation. As long as within the range, your answer is acceptable. So no need to worry about that. Okay, don't calculate it. Okay, check from your graph. And then I just show you what is the important point of the graph lah. You need to make sure paksi dilukis pada arah yang betul. Arah yang betul means you need to show arrow. If your graph don't have arrow, no mark. You see, it's actually 1 mark here. You need to make sure your graph got arrow. And then skala yang seragam. So uniform scale. Uniform scale means what? Uniform scale means like, 59 to 0.5 to 69.5 is like the difference is 10, 10, 10, 10 is the same. Okay, so make sure uniform scale. And maybe you ask me, sir, shall we label the X and Y? Actually, yeah, you can just label it lah. But if you want to label it, actually you don't have to label laju ke, apa ke. You label according to the, like ogive is cumulative frequency versus upper boundary. You can just write cumulative frequency, kekerapan longgokan in your X, then in your Y, and then your X you write upper boundary. That's it. Okay, you don't have to write laju or whatever. It's okay. You can just write that. Okay, but the more important, we want to look at the arrow. We want to look at the scale. Okay, the uniform scale. And then one thing, a lot of students want to ask, we don't have to start from 0, right? Yes, you don't have to. You see, the first value, because now ogive is, the X is upper boundary, right? The first upper boundary is 59.5. You may just start with 59.5. You don't have to start with 0. It's okay. Okay, we want to see the uniform scale only. And also, use the convenient value. Okay, don't start with 50, 60, 70, and then you try to look for your 59.5. Oh, don't do that. You will be very confused. Okay, just start with the convenient value. The first value, you just use it. That's it. Okay, but for your y-axis, you must start from 0 lah. For x-axis, you don't have to start from 0. Your y, because your y is always about frequency. Frequency is about bilangan. So bilangan is very important. So you must always start from 0. You can see 0, 10, 20, 30 lah. So this is the way that you can do. You can prepare your scale. After prepare your scale, make sure plot all the points correctly. So if you plot all the points correctly, you will get 2 marks. 1 point wrong, deduct 1 mark. 2 points wrong, no mark already. And then lastly, make sure lengkung yang licin, smooth curve, bersambung tanpa garis lurus, which mean don't use ruler to connect the line. If you are trying to use ruler, and when the marker is marking, they found that, oh, it's like a bit straight like that. Huh? We see the line is a bit straight. Habis already. 1 mark can be deducted. Okay, so make sure it's really curved. How to draw a very curvy shape? Of course, you can use flexible ruler, or else you just use your artistic hand. Okay, so make sure you don't use ruler. As long as it's smooth and curvy enough, it's fine. And then one thing also, in order to score full marks for the graph, you must score these 3 marks first. If you don't score full 3 marks, you will not get this last 1 mark. Confirm you will not get. You must score full 3 marks first. Okay, this is very important. Okay. And then what else? Okay lah. And then after you have the graph, of course, you need to answer some of the questions requested. Okay, and then just now got one student asked about, is it possible that they will ask you to draw another graph? Okay, yes. But depending on, I mean, there are some combination. If the question asks you to draw histogram, they might ask you to overlap frequency polygon on it. Impossible, they ask you to draw histogram, suddenly they ask you to draw ogive, because they are different things. Okay, but this question I want to show is, I think you never see this in your syllabus. I think this is interesting. I can't remember this is which paper already, one of the state paper lah. Lukis histogram longgokkan, cumulative histogram. I think we rarely see cumulative histogram, right? But it's being asked, so I want to bring your attention to look at this. What is cumulative histogram? But no worry, cumulative histogram, you see, the thing they ask for you to fill in the table is still upper boundary, it's still cumulative frequency. So upper boundary and cumulative frequency, which means you are going to draw ogive. But suddenly they ask you to draw cumulative histogram. How to draw? Actually, basically, you just need to draw ogive. You see ogive, but you need to add the bar on the ogive to make it like histogram. So this is what we call cumulative histogram. Okay, and this is how two different graphs combine together. So cumulative histogram combined with ogive here. Okay, so but you see, they will just so you can see how the question being asked. The question actually asked in this way. The question actually asked, draw cumulative histogram, and then on the same graph construct an ogive. So they will just ask you to overlap. You don't have to draw in different graph paper. They won't do that because you don't have time to draw so many things. Okay, so they will only ask you to overlap on the same graph paper. So no worry about that. Okay, so we spent a very long time for measure of dispersion, but worth it because this is 2 chapters. Actually, I cover 2 chapters, Form 4 and Form 5. Okay, for the dispersion. And if you wish to train your skill to calculate standard deviation, click this link. But if you are good, no need lah. This is very basic, very simple. Okay, we done this already. Okay, before we continue, any more question? If no more question, I think I can still go for maybe 2 chapters. Okay, I think I cannot go to all the chapters. Okay, I just quickly go through lah, because we have many more chapters, and I have another 4 more chapters that you actually mentioned. You mentioned insurance, transformation, taxation, and plants and dongakan, right? I try my best. Okay, this is plants and dongakan, plants and elevation. For this topic, you will need to draw plan, elevations from X and elevation from Y. 3 things only. And you will need to draw on a blank space provided. Blank space means whole page is blank. They just give you the number A, B, C. A, you draw plan. B, you draw X. C, you draw Y. Okay? Or they will ask you to draw on a designated space. Designated space, which means they will draw a 4 quadrants for you. 4 quadrant, and then you draw in the correct quadrant. When you are drawing, make sure you are drawing at the right place. If you draw on the wrong place, there might be a risk that you don't have the marks at all. There might be a risk lah. Okay? And ensure all your measurements, including the lengths and angles, are accurate. If the drawing is XCM, you need to really show XCM. You need to measure nicely XCM. Because when the marker are marking your paper, they will use the real drawing, actual drawing, to overlap your drawing. If your drawing and the drawing is exactly 100% the same, congratulations, full mark. But if they found a little bit different, like your drawing sang a bit, should be 90 degree, but you show 87 degree, base. Okay, sure, the mark will be deducted. Or should be 8 cm, but you draw only 8.5 cm. You draw extra 8.5 cm. Okay, mark will be deducted. So be very careful. And then one more thing, dotted line is compulsory. I mean, if applicable. Sorry, I think there is a typo error. If applicable, it's not is applicable. If applicable. Jadi garis putus-putus adalah wajib sekiranya ada. So if the drawing, is the object, there is some hidden structure, you need to use dotted line to show. If no dotted line, if you miss out the dotted line, lots of mark will be deducted. So dotted line is so important. And you might ask, do we need to write any number or letter? Do you need to write the length of the diagram or to write the letter A, B, C, D? No need to write anything. You just need to show your line, okay, your drawing, just the drawing. The letter or number, no need. Okay, remember, don't waste your time to write the number, the length, no need. But writing the letter is good, because when I teach my students, I always encourage them to write the letter, because you use the letter to check whether you miss out any vertices or not. So you can write the letter. But after you write a letter, after you are done, just erase all the letter. Just erase it. Okay, you can use the letter to check your answer, but erase it lah before you submit. Okay, that's the idea. All right. So look at this question. This one, they want you to draw on the designated place. And I think obviously you can see this one, you need to draw front elevations. This one, side elevation. This one, plan. Okay, but what if the question didn't tell you? What if later the paper is blank like this? You don't know which one to draw what. So how? Okay, no worry. That is a method. I actually think of a way. So look at this line. The line is pointing to this part, right? This part must be front. The direction that the line is pointing towards is always the front. Why? When we are looking at people, when we are looking at anything, we always look at the front. We look at the building, we look at the front facade. We look at people, we look at the face in the front. So we always look at the front first. And then next to the front will be side. Tepi ma, CC, okay, is side. And another one, of course, is plane. Okay? And if I change let's say I change the 45-degree line. I just give you an example. If the 45-degree line is here, then where is my front? It's pointing towards here. So obviously this will be front. Okay, that's it. And then the side of the front, of course, is side lah. And then this will be the plane. Okay. And then that day I discussed with my students, sir, is it possible the 45-degree line came from this or came from here? No, impossible. The 45-degree line can be only lower left or lower right only. Okay, I never see from upper left or upper right. Maybe yes, but I never see at least in our syllabus, I never see lah. Maybe that thing is available in some engineering study. I'm not sure. I don't dare to say absolute yes or no, but at least in your syllabus, you only can see these two. Okay, so no need to worry about that. Okay. And then when you are drawing, so I give you a tips here lah, And then when you are drawing, try to make sure that all the drawing are tally. You cannot simply draw, draw front and simply draw. No, you should make sure they are tally. Tally means what? You see, this side tally with this side with this side. All the side are tally. Okay, this is blocking me. So you see, all tally. Okay, not just the front and side tally, but the front and the plan is also tally. Okay, means like it's exactly the same lah. And then not just that, if I really check the 45-degree line, it's tally also. You see, the plane and the side, you see, is actually exactly the same. You know, like ngam. Okay, exactly the same, really accurate and really precise. So you don't simply draw. You need to make sure tally. If you are asked to draw in this 4 quadrant, okay. So this is like 100% will be asked question lah. Okay, this is 5-star question. Okay, and then if you want to train your skill, of course there is a place for you to train your skill. Okay, we finished this part. We have 3 more chapters. Okay, let's go to that 3 more chapters. Now it's 4. So very happy that most of the questions you ask are actually 5-star question. Okay, so now we skip. So the rest of the thing, please study by yourself. The next thing. This one, no one asked. And got someone asked lah, but it's not the popular one. I will go for the popular one. The one I didn't go through with you, please go through yourself. Okay, yes, a lot of you mentioned insurance, okay? So for insurance, the important thing will be premium for motor insurance. Okay, now I can see we still have another 15 minutes. I promised you to give you a Q&A for 15 minutes, right? But I feel like I want to tell you a bit more. So if you don't mind, I will share with you until 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock onwards, I will do Q&A. So if you are free, you may stay back for Q&A. If you are not free, it's okay. You can just like be away first, and then you can come back to rewatch this video for the Q&A, or you can just type your question in the comment or the Facebook. I will answer first, and then later come back and check your answer lah. Okay, so I will share until 5 o'clock, I think. All right. So the question that they will ask is premium for motor insurance. How to calculate the premium? And then to calculate premium for life and medical insurance, and to calculate compensations. I put 3 star. Why? These 3 things, compensation is the hottest question. They always love to calculate compensations. Okay, a lot. Okay, so we just go through one by one. So for the motor insurance, remember you have 4 types of motor insurance: act, third party, fire and thief, and comprehensive. And then I just want to let you know this. Comprehensive cover 4 things. Okay, 4 things. You can see what are the 4 things. Third party fire and theft cover 3 things. So which means third party fire and theft is 75% of the comprehensive. So when you calculate the premium, you want to get the premium for third party fire and thief, you just multiply another 75%. You will get that. So that's why 75%, because 3 out of 4, right? And then I give you a step how to calculate motor insurance here. So basically the step is very simple. First step, calculate your basic premium. How to calculate your basic premium? Remember, you need to depend on the locations. If the car is in Peninsular Malaysia, will be rate for first 1,000 plus 26 ringgit for the subsequent 1,000. But if Sabah Sarawak will be, you will need to plus 20 ringgit 30 cents. So remember, Peninsular Malaysia and Sabah Sarawak is a bit different. And when I was studying all the papers, I found that the papers will not tell you 26 ringgit and 20 ringgit 30 cents. You need to memorize this value by yourself at the moment. I am not sure the real SPM. Maybe because I believe, as a mathematician, I believe this is not a conceptual value. 26 ringgit is a value fixed by government, fixed by the policy. This can be changed from time to time. Suddenly, our Minister of Finance want to revise the money. They can revise anytime. So this is not a conceptual value. In my opinion, this value should be provided in your paper so that you don't have to memorize. But when I was checking all the other paper, I found that no, this value is not provided. You need to remember yourself. So at the moment, you memorize it first. Okay. So let's see whether the value will be given to you in the SPM or not. Okay. And then after you found the basic premium, calculate the actual basic premium. So this is a bit different from textbook. Textbook, just basic premium, but I add another new term called actual basic. Actual basic is based on the category of your motor insurance. So for comprehensive, the actual is exactly the same as the basic premium that you calculate just now. Third party fire and thief times 75%. Third party and act, this is the cheapest insurance. No need to do any calculation. Just refer to the table provided. And before at the end, the step 3, you need to subtract NCD. So NCD, they will try to tell you what is the NCD, how many percent. NCD stands for no claim discount. So your actual basic premium have to multiply with this NCD, and then you just like minus lah. So your gross premium will be the actual minus the NCD. So I hope that this table, I try to make it a bit more systematic to help you to easily understand how to calculate the premium for motor insurance. And then premium for life or medical is very easy. You just remember face over X times rate. Face value over X times rate. Face over X times rate. So when you read the question, just look for the face value. Face value usually are few 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. And then look at the term per. They will say per something, per 1,000, per 2,000. So per is the X. When you see the per, okay, that is the X value. Rate refer to a table. They will tell you this is a woman or a man, a healthy woman or a smoking woman, healthy man or smoking man, how many years old, 40 years old, 30 years old. So different rates. So refer to the table. Okay, you don't have to memorize the table. I don't do that. Okay, don't do that. Okay, but you need to know how to read the table. Okay, this is the most popular, calculating compensations. Okay, this is the hardest actually. A lots of formula, but I try to summarize it in this table. I try to summarize it. So for compensation for medical insurance is very easy. Medical costs minus deductible multiplied by co-insurance percentage. Yeah, when I say compensation means the compensation that the insurance company will pay you. Your medical cost minus deductible, multiply the co-insurance. That's it. Compensation in property insurance. This one is the hardest, but I teach you there is a way. Property insurance. Your house being caught of fire. Okay, your house caught of fire, and then you might suffer some loss. So amount of loss minus deductible. This is the main thing. Okay. Let's say your kitchen caught in fire, 50,000 loss. So insurance company should compensate you 50,000, but minus the deductible. Always minus deductible. But before you do the subtraction, multiply this. This is a fraction. This is a fraction of insured value over amount of required insurance. Means what? Means, let's say, the insurance company requested you to buy 500,000 of insurance. This is a required insurance. The insurance company said, okay, you need to buy 500,000. Then you are a very good client, let's say. So you just follow insurance advice. You buy 500,000. You just follow. So 500 divided by 500,000. 500,000 divided by 500,000 is 1. So one time amount of loss, like let's say your loss is 50,000, right? So since you buy full amount of the required insurance, of course they will pay you the full amount of loss, right? One time loss, full amount, but need to minus deductible. But let's say you decided not to buy 500,000. You just want to buy half price. You buy 250,000. So when you divide 250 divided by 500 will be 1/2. So will be 1/2 multiplied by the loss will be half of the loss. Let's say your loss is 50,000, right? So half of it will be 25,000. So since you only buy half, right? So also I compensate you half of your loss. That's very logic. So as long as you remember this logic, is easy for you already. You don't have to memorize this and that formula, this case, that case, too many cases already. So just remember this way. Okay, your loss, but remember to multiply a fraction. The fraction is the insurance value that you insured divided by the required insurance. That's the idea. Okay, last one will be a compensation for total loss. Total loss is like the whole house destroyed. Okay, we cannot evaluate how many loss being incurred. Okay, so I don't know how much the loss. So whatever you buy, your insured value, straight away I will just compensate you your insured value minus the deductible, which means if you buy 500,000 insurance, then I will pay you 500,000 but minus deductible. If you buy 250,000, I will pay you 250,000 minus deductible, because total loss must pity you. I pay you everything. Okay, so that's the idea. You can try to find the logic of the insurance. Okay, and then this is the sample question. I'm not going to go through this. Okay, I just shared with you already, and I give you a good tips. Good to always organize your answer in table form. If you are calculating car premium, car insurance premium, make your answer arrange your answer in table form, because it's easier for the marker to read your answer and to mark. If you're writing here and there is a bit messy, try to show in table is the best, I think. Okay, and then this is to calculate the health, the medical premium. Okay, you can go through by yourself, but you can see the formula is like the nilai muka, the face value. They're asking for the face value. Okay, and then this is about compensations. So let's try. I gave you the answer already, but we can just quickly go through. We will read this question lah. We try to read this question. Okay. When we are reading the question, try to highlight the value. So you see, Mrs. Okay, I try to read now. I will start from here. Okay, you can read from here. Okay, I try to highlight. Mrs. Anna like to buy fire insurance for her house. The disposable value for the house is 550,000. 550,000 is like the price of the house, somehow like the price. The fire insurance policy he wishes, actually it's not a he, it should be a she. I think there is a typo error here. Mrs. Anna should be a she, right? She wishes to purchase, has a co-insurance to insure 80%. Means the insurance company only willing to compensate 80%. So from here, we will know the required insurance. To calculate the required insurance, we will use 80% times 550,000 because the insurance company only willing to pay compensate 80%, right? And then the deductible is 5,000. You see, I highlight all the value. Then I use another color. The question said calculate the amount of insurance Mrs. Anna had to buy. Mrs. Anna had to buy means request insurance. Required value requested value. So you see, 550,000 multiply 80% become 440,000. And then now next question. Mrs. Anna's house has been damaged by fire and the amount of loss is 80,000. Okay, and then calculate the compensation amount that Mrs. Anna will receive if she insured her house. So got two different cases. The first case, on the amount of insurance value she must purchase. So the first case, because the insurance company asked her to buy 440,000 and she really follow, so her loss is 80,000. So just minus the deductible 75,000. So no need to think about other thing. Okay, berapa banyak rugi, I bayar balik. Cuma nak tolak deductible sahaja. Okay, but another case, she only bought 350,000 of the insured value. So you see the loss before minus the deductible, you multiply the fraction. This fraction is 350 divided by 440. So you see how the formula being used, right? So that's the idea. And then one more question is about total loss. Now, suffer a complete loss, total loss. She insured his house. Actually, it's he or she. Actually, I'm confused already. Mrs. Anna is she, but he keep on using his or he. Sorry for this question. Sorry on behalf of this paper. Okay, so 400,000 is the insured value. So since he actually insured his house with 400,000, so just minus the deductible straight away lah. So will be 395,000. So it's very easy, okay? The formula I mentioned just now. And then this is the medical insurance. I think I won't discuss this already. You can try. So finish insurance. And I have maybe 5 minutes to go through transformation and taxation. Hopefully I got some time. Okay. Cikgu Farah, I must say, sekarang I ada 5 minit lagi kan?
Lebih kurang setengah kali ikut sebenarnya ada lagi 2 minit. Dan ada soalan daripada adik Tandui. Yang untuk tajuk perlahan dongakkan tadi. Okay, if 45 degree given, can we still draw separately without using the 45 degree line?
Cannot. Okay, if the question just now, right? No need lah. I think I will stop sharing my. I think I will stop. I don't need to go to that slide already. I just share here. So if the 45 degree line is being given, you must follow, you must draw in the quadrant. Yeah, you cannot draw in other place because they ask you to draw them. Yeah, mesti lukis di sana. Okay, ada soalan lagi Cikgu Farah?
Setakat ni dah tak ada dah.
Okay, kalau macam ni, so everyone, because we are running out of time, I have only 2 topics I haven't touched with you because you requested just now. You request just now, right? Transformation and also taxation. So you know what? You can just come to my slide here. I am going to give you my slide now. You can study it because I think I write all the tips very clear here, and I just show you how to use my 4S revision pack. Okay, remember strategy, sample solution, skill. So this is a tips on how to use my slide lah. If you are good, I mean, if your math result is good means you score ABC already. I mean, okay, let's say you already score A. If you already score A, you don't have to study. You don't even have to like try all the sample and solution. You just need to scroll through all the strategy just to recall some of the important information. I have a lot of note inside. You just go through all the note just to keep you refreshed. For if you already score A in trial lah. If you score B and C in trial, you want to push yourself a bit more, let's try all the sample and solution. if you can do all the sample and solution, you can understand it without, without further guidance, I am very sure you are very close to A already. If the student, you just pass the math, like you just pass, then you also the same, you must try all the sample and solution. Okay, you also the same, you must try all the sample and solution. And while you are trying and you found that some topics you are very weak, try the scale, go to the scale, use the scale to train yourself. Okay, perhaps I should show you one of the scale, how it looks like lah, and you will be wow with the scale. I love the scale, but for example, this one, okay, very quick one. I think I need more time to share with you all. Okay, a lots of things I want to share. Okay, for this one, let's say this is for the operation on set. Let's say you want to try the scale, you click it, you will be linked to a website. Okay, let's go to a website. Okay, it's being linked to the website already. And this website is very useful for you to train your skill. Yeah, this operation on set, shading the shade, is like very high chance to come out. It's a 4-star question. So if you want to try K-Bar question, you can click the level 3. You don't have to go level 1. Level 1 is too easy. So for example, you just need to shade. For example, this one I just quickly do A intercept B prime. So I don't want B, I want A, and I want C as well. I think it's here. Okay, this is a quick one. And then you check, they'll tick for you. So you can come here to train yourself. So this can assume all the skill in my slide is a training gym. It's a place for you to train yourself, okay? And then last but not least, I want to share with you the final thing. For the student who actually fail your math in your trial, it can go take your time, choose some of the topics which is the topic that you are more confident, train the skill. Make sure you know how to score certain topic. Okay, and then also look at solo category. Aim the 5-star question, because 5-star question is a question that confirm will be asked, will be tested. So aim the 5-star question. And now I want to share with you the link already. So everyone, this is a link for this e-note. I will not to print out because this e-note, I will leave it there for a very long time, and I might add something. If I add something, you will get immediate modification as well. Whatever I change, immediately you will receive the ID. So if you download it, whatever I change, you don't know, right? So this is a link. So you can print screen, and then later you try. So https //bit.ly/spm math 4S revision pack. Okay, so you can print screen and then you type exactly the same URL, you will be able to get this note.
Seluruh boleh share tak link ni dekat dalam kita punya private chat supaya host boleh letak dekat dalam
Okay, tak ada masalah. Bagi saya sikit masa. I copy dia punya link sekejap. Okay.
So adik-adik semua slide dan juga nota-nota tadi akan boleh dapatkan daripada link yang cikgu
sekarang I akan letak di
StreamYard.
Ya, tunggu sekejap pergi kepada StreamYard. Okay, and then one more thing before ending. Okay, wait, let me just share with the StreamYard. So this is a private chat, so I think they are able to see us, but it's okay lah. You don't mind, right? Okay, so I just send to the StreamYard. Okay, bagus. Okay, and then tunggu I dah share ke StreamYard. And then Cikgu Farah boleh share balik saya punya slide sekejap. I nak tunjuk slide yang terakhir untuk nasihat yang terakhir lah. Yeah. Okay. So this is my final piece of advice. SPM is coming soon. 10th March will be the day you do your math. So this is my ultimate tips for all of you. Tips yang terakhir untuk semua. So first tip, do at least 5 times of exam simulation at your own. If you have enough time, I mean, depending on your strength in your math also, if you are A already, you don't have to do that many times lah. If you are like, your result is not that promising yet and you want to improve yourself, do at least 5 times of exam simulation, which mean get any 5 set of papers. Better if you can choose state paper lah. Don't use the paper in reference book, because I think state paper is will be, I mean, closer to the real SPM. I mean, this is what I believe lah. No offense for the reference book, but I think state paper will be closer to the real SPM. Especially some very famous school like MRSM, SBP can actually try that paper. So do at least 5 steps, which means you take the real set of paper, and then you block yourself a time, 2 hours, 30 minutes at home. Ask your parents, don't kacau you. 2 hours, 30 minutes, usually do. And if you don't know, you cannot refer. Just do. Assume that someone is watching you. The pengawas SPM is watching you, and assume it's a real exam. If time's up, you cannot do already. And then mark for yourself. And then check why you are wrong. And if you understand why you're wrong, good. Don't repeat again and then try another paper. If you don't know why you are wrong and don't know how to do, always reach out to your friends or your teachers. Ask them for help. I am very sure all your friends and your teachers are very willing to help you. So why need to do exam simulation? Because like that, you can train how to control your time, how to manage your time. Or else later in the real day, you might be panicked or whatever, and then you don't know how to manage time. Maybe you know how to do, but you cannot finish on time. Okay. Second ultimate tips is to teach others as one of the most effective ways of revision. This is my own skill. Back then, when I was in high school, there is a moment that I already like did a lot of practices and I'm very familiar already. I feel a little bit boring towards, like before SPM, I feel already boring already. Sudah study lah, how to continue to do revision or. And then I found that, but we still need to do revision or else we'll forget, right? So in order to revise effectively, I asked my friend, hey, do you need me to teach you math? Okay, so I teach my classmates, I teach my friends. And then when I was teaching them, actually I was revising. Okay, and actually, in fact, I understand better than before. So teaching others is always the best skill to learn. So when you are teaching others, you are not just helping your friends, but you are helping yourself. You are helping yourself to learn better. So that's all from me. I want to say thank you. So towards the end, Cikgu Farah, saya ada ruang untuk sesi soalan ke tidak? Atau macam mana?
Ada soalan ke daripada adik-adik? Tak apa, kita
okay,
tengok sekejap.
Kita mungkin boleh buat sesi soalan mungkin 5 minit macam tu lah. Okay. Saya akan stop itu slide dulu. Ya, saya akan balik kepada StreamYard lah. So anyone, if you have question, you may ask now. If you don't have, then we may end the session already. If you have question, please ask in the comments of YouTube or Facebook. Thank you Cikgu Farah dan cikgu-cikgu yang cikgu Teh and also Cikgu Kemi kerana macam terdrag sikit lah beberapa minit. Okay, sorry for all the students. I think the time we slightly late a little bit than the expected time. But any question, please ask. Jadi ada soalan daripada siapa?
Dekat ni macam tak ada, semua masing-masing dah fokus kot ambil nota. Apa cikgu seluruh tadi sampai dah semua dah diam okey kot.
Okay.
Tak ada. Okay, so saya rasa
ada satu dia Cikgu Farah. Saya nampak ada satu soalan, mungkin saya boleh
tu adik Tanloi okay.
Dia cakap, actually what I meant, I still draw in the spaces given, but I don't draw according to the rules. Means I don't put all the lines which you highlighted and blue line just now, or cannot. Okay, if they give you a 45-degree quadrant, which mean they want you to follow that, you must be tally lah, because this 45-degree is the professional way of drawing 3D actually. In the old SPM, they didn't teach this, so they didn't test you in this way. But in this new SPM KSSM syllabus in Form 3, they teach you how to do this. So since you already learned how to do this, you must follow the rules lah. You cannot just simply draw. All right. Of course, if you simply draw, I believe you still can score some marks, but I'm very sure you will not get full marks. You need to follow the rules. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully this help. Jadi ada lagi? Any more question, everyone? If no more, I will pass back to our moderator today, Cikgu Farah. Yeah. Oh yeah, Cikgu Farah macam ada satu Dia tanya, is there a question? Oh yeah, sudah tanya. Sorry. Okay. Cikgu Farah, pass back kepada Cikgu Farah.
Ada ni. Okay. Terima kasih banyak-banyak kepada seluruh. Okay. Jadi alhamdulillah kita dah selesai kelas kita pada petang ini. Okay, cikgu nak ucapkan tahniah kepada semua penonton yang setia bersama dengan kelas kita daripada awal sehingga ke saat ini. Okay. Jadinya jika anda kata adik-adik suka dengan apa yang adik pelajari hari ini, okey, boleh klik butang like dan juga share kepada rakan-rakan di media sosial untuk sebarkan ilmu dan beroleh kebaikan di atas perkongsian tersebut. Terima kasih Seluruh, terima kasih Cikgu Kimi, terima kasih juga Cikgu Teh, okey, di atas keluangan masa untuk bersama-sama kita pada petang ini untuk menjayakan program Jom Cakna. Easy Web Learning. Jadi insyaAllah kita akan berjumpa lagi. Okey, untuk sesi yang akan datang pada hari esok pada pukul 9 pagi. So adik-adik jangan lupa subscribe web Easy Learning channel. Okey. Jadi kita
Cikgu
jumpa
Farah.
lagi. Assalamualaikum dan bye.
Satu lagi, kena good luck in SPM. Do your best.
Ya,
You
good
can do it.
luck.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, do your best.